Do your kids just keep fighting and you're not so sure what to do? In this video, I'll show you 3 conflict resolution skills for your kids to use when they're having a sibling conflict and to use in everyday life. And stay tuned through to the end where I show you how to teach your kids one superpower that'll help actually reduce sibling conflicts long term. Hi everyone, I'm BJ, and the reality is in family life we're going to have conflicts, including sibling conflicts. But the other reality is that God's given us these relationships in family life to teach us how to relate to others around us. And so in family life, we want to make sure that we learn how to handle conflict well, so that we learn how to handle it in the real world well also. We want to teach our kids mature, emotionally healthy ways of resolving conflicts, and that starts right in our family. The first conflict resolution skill our kids need to learn is how to ignore without becoming bitter. In family life, there are just certain problems that happen that really are low-level problems and don't really need to be directly addressed. Now, some of our kids might have a lower threshold for what's considered low level, and they might need to learn to raise that up. That's a whole nother video in and of itself. But in reality, there's just some problems that we don't need to keep bringing up and addressing. For some kids, it might be something like, my brother or sister next door is just playing really loudly and I'm trying to read over here. Can I ignore that? Can I move to another space? Maybe I can. My sibling likes to take the first choice of the Legos when we play together. Maybe I could ignore that. Sometimes a sibling might be at an event and there might be like a special dessert, and this might be a younger sibling, a significantly younger sibling who needs to race first to be first online for that special ice cream treat. Can you ignore that when it happens once in a while? Probably can. The skill here is to ignore without becoming bitter. But when low-level offenses start piling up, or our child starts feeling angry and bitter about something they've ignored too long, and now it's time to really move into the second skill that they need to be able to do, which is to confront without becoming mean. The Bible teaches us in the book of Ephesians to be angry and do not sin. What we have to recognize is that anger is not bad. It's actually just a signal for our hearts to know when there's a problem. And so when our child is starting to feel angry, they shouldn't feel guilty. They should take a moment to calm down and make a plan for how to confront without being mean in the process, so they do not sin. We're going to need to teach our children how to do this. It would be very helpful to have a family meeting where you lay out the basic language that your kids need. Your kids are going to need to be able to say how they're feeling, what action the other sibling's doing that's causing that feeling, and the requests they have for seeing some change. A few examples of this language might include something like this. I feel upset when you race to the swing and beat me there and get to ride first. Please let me ride first this time. I feel angry when you go on my phone to message your friends because you've lost your phone and you want to talk to your friends. Please stop. I feel disappointed when you don't hit the like button and share this video with your parenting friends. Please hit the like button and share this video with others. Okay, that last one's not one your kid's going to use, but go ahead and hit that like button. It really does help this content get to other people. Thanks so much. That's the basic structure of the language you want to teach your kids to use with each other, and you're going to teach them how to go up to each other and make eye contact, use this language with each other, and try to resolve this conflict peacefully. But sometimes our kids try to use the confront without being mean yourself strategy, and they use all the language appropriately, and they have good body language and good eye contact, and they do exactly what we teach them, and their sibling doesn't respond the way they really should. They get angry, they get upset, they ignore, whatever it is, they don't really listen to each other. And suddenly, this thing's broken. What do we do at that point? We teach them the third conflict resolution skill that they need, which is how to tell without tattling. When kids come to us at this point, they're following a biblical example that Jesus lays out in Matthew 18 for resolving conflict. Go to each other, try to solve that conflict first with each other, and if that works, great, we're done. But if you've tried a couple of times, and I'll often tell kids, give that statement not just one time, do it twice. And after that, come get a grown-up. We're that next level up in the Matthew 18 example that Jesus gives. Come to us so we can hear that as well. And now we're going to get involved in an appropriate way to help solve this problem with our kids. But it's important when they come that they're not tattling, but actually telling. Tattling is complaining. Tattling is whining. Tattling is when I care more about getting my sister or brother in trouble than I really do care about solving the conflict. And so we need to require that our children come to tell and not tattle. Now, there's different ways to do this. You could respond to your child like this. Whoa, you sound like you're tattling. You want to come back to me and sound like you're telling instead. Ooh, that sounds like complaining. We don't come to complain to me. It sounds like you have a problem you want to share. You need to share it in a calm way. Try again. Oh gosh, you're whining. My ears don't hear whine very well. Try again to tell me about your problem, but tell, don't tattle. Okay, it sounds like you have a problem here and I want to help you solve it, but you're not telling me, you're tattling instead. Try again just like I showed you and tell me what the problem is. Whoa, slow down a little bit. It sounds like you need to go settle down and come back to me to tell me what your problem is. So go have a seat over there, calm down, come back and see me when you're ready. This simple yet firm redo that we're requiring of our children is important because the process of how we resolve conflicts is as important as the problem itself. We need our children to be making sure they're coming to tell us what a problem is and not just tattle. If we don't hold fast to this and require them to come and tell and make them go back and try again if they're going to come to complain or badger or whine, we're going to find that they're not going to make this shift that we need them to make and learn this conflict resolution skill. Now, as we get involved in this third skill that our children are learning, this is the first time we're really getting involved in resolving this conflict, and we need to avoid becoming the referee. We want to become instead the coach for our kids, helping them solve this problem, and not the referee. And if you're tired of playing referee in your kids' fights, and you'd rather learn how to resolve and even reduce sibling conflicts in your family so you can experience a more peaceful home, you want to go over to JesusHelpMeParent.com/register and grab your free seat in my parenting webinar, 3 Secrets for Solving Sibling Conflicts Without Threats, Punishments, or Bribes. I'm going to give you honest, practical parenting strategies that you'll be able to use the moment you get off the webinar with me and start seeing change in your kids and families now. JesusHelpMeParent.com/register. Go there right now or at the end of this video because I'd like you to see the rest because there's that superpower you want to see. All right, next up. The superpower we need to teach our kids when they're having a sibling conflict is to do what's right no matter what. Inasmuch as it depends on you, be at peace with everyone. That's straight out of Scripture, and our kids need to learn how to live this out. When you look at 1 Peter chapter 2, Peter's writing to talk about what happens when a servant's being mistreated, but he quickly talks about how you should act for anyone who's being mistreated, and he focuses in on how our consciences need to turn towards God. And when we keep our consciences facing God and treat others right, even when we're being mistreated, it's to our credit. We're commended by the Lord for doing so. Jesus doesn't want to hear us say, the reason I treated my brother that way is because he did this. The reason I treated my sister that way is because she did that. That doesn't fly with Jesus in his kingdom. He calls us into account for our choices and our actions. And we need to teach our children that we need to treat others special even if they're not treating us special. We need to treat others the way Jesus wants us to treat them, even when they're not treating us that way, because we hold ourselves to a higher standard, the standard of Jesus' calling on our life and Jesus' compassion and love towards others as well. To be able to do this, we need to teach our children how to go to the Lord in prayer and how to ask him to take over this problem we're having with a sibling. We need to teach our children to pray for their siblings and to ask Jesus to help them solve the conflicts that they've tried everything in their power to solve and they just can't seem to. to ask our children, start praying for your sister, start praying for your brother. Pray that their Holy Spirit would touch their hearts and they would change and come to you to resolve this conflict. And if you want more practical parenting tools and strategies using a heart-based approach to address sibling conflicts, remember to go to JesusHelpMeParent.com/register for my free parenting webinar. And in the meantime, I'll put a playlist right here with several videos all on sibling conflicts. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you real soon. Bye, everyone.